Hello everyone, I am Lakshminarayanan and I am currently pursuing my bachelor's degree in Computer Science Engineering in Velamol Engineering College. Welcome you all to the Python tutorial. Today we are going to learn about decision making statements. So let me tell you the agenda first. What we are going to learn. At first we are going to learn about decision making statements. What is a decision making statement? Then we are going to see about if statement, and then we are going to see about if else statement, followed by nested if, then if else, if elif ladder. At last we are going to learn some examples so that we can understand each concept in a much better way. So let me go through each one of the slides. What is a decision making statement? Decision making statement in programming languages decides the direction of flow of program execution. For example, in real life, if you are hungry, you will eat, otherwise you will not. So likewise, in programming, you have to take certain decisions. For that, decision making statements will help you. So the available decision making statements in Python are if statement, if else statement, nested if statement, then if elif ladder. We will go through each one of them in the following slides. First, if statement. If statement is the most simple decision making statement. It is used to decide whether a certain or a block of statement will execute or not. That is, if the condition is true, then the block of statement will be executed, otherwise not. The syntax for if statement is, if the condition is true, then the statements present within the if block will get executed, otherwise it will not. The flowchart of if statement is, if the condition of the text expression is true, then the body of if will get executed, otherwise the statement that is present immediate after the if block will get executed. Then if else statement. We can use the else statement with the if statement to execute a block of code when the condition is false. The syntax of if else statement is, if a condition is true, then the if block will get executed. That is, the statement present within the if block will get executed. Else, the statements that are present within the else block will get executed because the condition of if is false, so else gets executed. The flowchart of if else is, if the text expression is true, then the body of if will get executed. Otherwise, the statements or the body of else will get executed. Now we are going to see about nested if statements. A nested if is an if statement that is the target of another if statement. In simple words, we have to say a nested if statement is a if statement within another if statement is called a nested if statement. The syntax of nested if statement is, if the condition 1 is true, then we will enter into the statements that are present within the first if block. We are placing another if block within this if block. If the condition is true, then the statements that are present within the second if block will also get executed. So this is nested if. You can understand nested if in the following examples so that you can better able to use it in your code. The flowchart of nested if is, if the condition 1 is true, then it will go for checking the condition 2, that is the nested if condition. If that is true, then the body of nested if will get executed. If that is false, the body of nested else will get executed. If the condition 1 itself is false, then the statement that is just below if will get executed. Now we are going to see about if elif else ladder. The if statements are executed from top down. As soon as one of the condition controlling the if is true, the statement associated with that if is executed, and the rest of the ladder will not get executed. If none of the condition is true, then the final else statement will get executed. The syntax for if elif else ladder is, if the condition is true, then the if block will get executed. Otherwise, it will check for the condition in elif block. If the elif block is true, then the statements that are present within the elif block will get executed. If none of the condition is true, then the statements that are present within the else block will get executed. The flowchart of if elif ladder is, if the text expression 1 is true, then the statement that are associated with that block will get executed. Otherwise, it will go and check for the text expression too. Likewise, it will check on the text expressions. It will check on the other text expressions until it gets true. If none of them is true, it will finally print the body of else statement. So this is how if elif ladder works. Now let us work out some examples for understanding these concepts in a much better way. Now we are going to see each concept with an example so that we could understand each concept clearly. First we are going to see about if statement. I am going to initialize an variable a as 2, b equal to 3. So I am going to check whether a is greater than b or not. If a greater than b, print greater. Otherwise the condition is false. So I am going out of the if block, so condition fails. I am going to execute this code, so condition fails. Now I am going to alter this a equal to 3, so a equal to 23, b is equal to 3. So I am going to run this program again, so greater, and condition fails will also come because it is printing a is greater and it comes out of the block, and it also prints the immediate statement that is present after the if block. So now we are going to check for else block. Instead of putting this statement after the if block, I am going to put this statement in the else block. I am going to indent it. So indentation is must in Python. So I am going to execute this statement now. So it is greater. So only the if block will get executed. If the condition fails, then it will print the else block. Now the condition fails, so it prints condition fails. So this is how if and if else works in Python. Now we are going to see the examples of nested if statement. So let me get an input from the user. So a equal to int input So I am going to check whether a given number is greater than 18. So if a is greater than 18, he will enter into the if block. So now I am going to check another if condition. If a is greater than 18 and a is less than 30, print youngster. Elif a greater than 30 and a less than 50, print middle age. Let it be a greater than or equal to 30. Else print old age. If none of the condition satisfies, we are going to print else print teenager. So this is an nested if statement. We have an if within another if. So I am going to execute the statement. I am going to enter an input. So let me enter an input, say 19. So youngster is printed. Again I am going to execute it with some other input, say 35. It should print middle age. if I enter the input as some 70, it will enter old age. If I enter an input say 14, then teenager. So this is an example for nested if statement. Now we are going to see an example for if elif statement. So let me get an input from the user, a equal to int input if a is greater than or equal to 90, print A grade. Elif A greater than or equal to 80 and A less than 90, print B grade. Elif A greater than 70 or greater than or equal to 70 and A less than 80, print C grade. Else print D grade. So this is just an example. So I'm going to execute this program. I'm going to enter the mark. Let it be some 92. So 92 is a grade. Now I'm going to again execute this code. If I enter some 88, then B grade. If I enter some 76, C grade. If I enter less than 70, that is some 69, D grade. So this is how if elif block works in Python. Now let us discuss some problems related to decision making statements. The first problem is whether the given number is odd or even. So I'm getting an input from the user. So a equal to int input. Why am I using int input is usually Python gets an input as string, but in this case I want an integer to be an input. So I'm typecasting string into an integer. Now I'm going to check whether the given input is even or odd. If a modulo 2 is equal to 0, I'm using a modulus operator here because modulus operator will gives you a remainder. So when a divided by 2 gives you a remainder as 0, then it is an even number. So if a modulo 2 is equal to 0, I'm going to print even. Else I'm going to print odd. So now I'm going to execute this program. So I'm going to enter an even number 4. So it is even. Now I'm going to give an input as odd number 9. It is odd. So this is how if-else statements works in Python. Now the second problem is that we have to print the greatest of the three numbers. So I'm going to get the three numbers as an input from the user. So a equal to int input, b equal to int input, c equal to int input. So now I have got those three numbers from the user. Now I have to print which is the greatest of these three numbers using the decision making statement. So if a greater than b and a greater than c, print a. Elif b greater than a and b is greater than c, print b. Else print c. Now I am going to execute this program. So I am going to enter three numbers as input. Let it be 4, 6, 8. The greatest number is 8. Again I am going to enter. Let it be 8, 20, a number some 9. So 20 is the greatest number. So this is how if, elif, else works in Python. Now let me explain you one real life problem of decision making. You are going to a shop and you are buying some items. Now you have entered the bill section. The cashier asks for the payment. Now you can decide whether to pay the amount with cash or with credit or debit card, or you can pay the cash with net banking. So let me explain you the code. The first line says it, cashier, hello sir or madam, how would you like to pay the bill? So this is the voice of cashier, so I have printed it. Now you are going to enter the input, whether you are going to pay the amount through cash or with credit or with debit or using GPay. If I enter cash, then the if block will get executed, that is I will pay through cash. If you enter credit or debit, then the second block, that is elif block, will get executed, that is I will pay the amount through credit or debit card. If you enter GPay, then elif block will get executed again, that is elif a equal to GPay, so that block will get executed, that is I will use GPay to pay the amount. If you enter other than this as any other input, you will get the output as sorry I haven't brought my wallet. So now I am going to execute this code. So the cashier is asking, hello sir or madam, how would you like to pay the bill? I am going to enter cash. So it returns as I will pay the amount through cash. Again I am going to execute this program. This time I am going to type debit. So it will return I will pay the amount through debit or credit. If again I execute this program, now I am using GPay. I will use GPay, will get printed. Again I am going to execute this program. This time I am going to type some other thing, some other input. It will return as sorry I haven't brought my wallet. So this is one of our example of a real-time problem where you use decision making statements. Thank you.